Greetings everyone, Corky here, and this is a Mini Cooper. You might not recognize it because it's old as all hell. These tiny little shoeboxes are a wonderful part of British historic racing. And so I wanted to have some fun today and throw them around a few iconic British circuits, starting at, the keen-eyed of you will already know, Brands Hatch. We find ourselves at the back of a grid of 20 other cuties, and it is our job to make it as close to the front as possible over just 3 laps. So, let's see how we fare at Brands Hatch, and then we can see some other British circuits. These things don't make much power, but they still have a kick to them because they're incredibly light. You can really just throw them into the corner. Instead, of course, of AI doing what they do best, being slow. Although I'll eat my words in a second once they all get less bunched up. Making a pass on one, looking down the inside of this other one. He lets us have it. Oof, this black one's all over the shop, though. Accidentally putting it into first there, not ideal. Oh, Jesus Christ. We're immediately put into the wall by that black one. Well, this has just gone swimmingly, hasn't it? That said, I do believe we can absolutely keep catching up. That was a clean spin, all things considered, and I do have damage turned off. These things are very lively. I have been trying to figure out heel and toe, but for the time being, it seems like I don't need it anyways. These cars are pretty forgiving in the way they drive. As you can see there, I can really just throw it into the corner and throttle on the way out. I don't think that's the quickest way to do things, but you can really get these things sideways before they properly break traction. And we are catching up just a little bit. Although we do go wide there. Just the wheel going completely the opposite direction there, but again, it just doesn't spin. It takes a lot of effort to make these things spin, unless of course you get hit by another car, and wow, that's a bit of a send on my part. But hey, that's what these things are for. If gap car, in the words of Senna. Might take revenge on this black car. I'm not sure if this was the one that took me out, but it might be. He gets a better run than me though, because I screwed up my gears. We'll just tuck in behind him for the time being. Yeah, you can see that draft coming into effect. So let's see if I can't make a dive down the inside at all. Completely just the wheel pointing fully away from the corner there. Truly, you kind of just pointed at the apex and pray. I'm leaving him room on the outside there, but he doesn't take it, gets a poor exit, and we make it through. Up into P17, not as high as I would have liked to be, really, but such is life. And then we're already right on the behind of this blue car and just sending it up the inside immediately. No need to waste time staying behind him, I suppose. Let's put our focus on Roger Phillips here in the green Mini ahead of us. Going a little wide through this final corner. That's not great. Steve Buffum behind us might make a run. He's got the inside too. We'll see if we can hang it around the outside of Paddock Hill Bend. I reckon we can. Oh, the switchback. No, not the switchback. There is no switchback to be had. That was a mess, but somehow we're still both out of it. And we're holding up traffic behind. And thus P17 is where we remain, and likely where we will stay for the rest of the race, unless I can re-overtake Mr. Buffum here. These cars are, as the British would say, jolly good fun, innit? These are absolutely amazing. Also, I can say that, I'm half British, don't get mad at me. Steve Buffum is looking quite far away. He's only a second ahead, but that is quite a lot in the scheme of things. But he gets a slow run through there. Now we're really catching up to him now. I'm not sure a move down the outside is particularly advisable through here. Oh my god! Absolute oversteer through there. We just kind of dabbed on the brakes and it was very messy, and we kind of almost couldn't save it there, but we went all across the track. But he's going to get it done, and he's going to keep that position for P17. Now that I have a better understanding of how these cars drive, though, I'm hopeful that I can get a better... What the hell am I doing? As I was saying, hope I can get a better position next track. Oh, sorry, sir. I'm pissing him off. Right. I'm not even going to finish this race. I think it's safe to say we are last. No need to find that out. Let's head on to our next circuit, shall we? You may be able to guess what circuit we're at just by the sign ahead of me. It's almost lights out and away we go at Oulton Park. Another wonderful British racing venue. I'm going to give myself a poor start here. Just rifling through the gears while we wait for the AI to kind of get less clumped up. But I'm not sure that's going to really fully happen. Time to head through this very quick follow through here. These cars demand very early braking, and we're going to make an accidental move up the inside, and another one, a quick little double overtake. Might be a triple. Oh, it might be a quadruple if we can just find the space here. Yes, we can. Sticking it around the outside of Roger Phillips, and we do make that move fully stick. And now looking around the outside of our dear friend in the 84 car. Oh no, that was Roger Phillips there. So I don't know who I just overtook. Lucas. I've removed the chicane for this layout just to make things a little easier. It makes racing a little hard. I've also removed this section through here. We do have to brake really early for this part. Oh, and even then, just facing some terrible bumps. Just having to slam on the throttle to save that slide. Gonna look at the inside that becomes the outside here on Roger. And we're going to already start braking for this corner. We'll let Roger take that place for now. I'm not too fussed about it. But he's gonna get a poor run, and we are gonna look up his inside anyways, fussed or not. And now it's time for this section. This is going to be demanding. Roger Phillips maybe pushed him out a little wide there, but we do make it up the inside eventually. I find that I'm braking earlier than the AI, but then getting much better runs throughout the rest of the corner. These cars, I mean, you have to just trust that if you slam the throttle, they won't slide. And generally speaking, they kind of don't. But it's still very nervous-making. That being said, making the most of the track despite our wide run and missed apex, and we're looking at the back of Alexander Delarche here now. I'm not sure there's going to be a move to be made into this part, but perhaps a little bit later into this corner. I'm going to try and find the inside there. Doing our best not to hit the back of him. Oh, he might get a switchback on me. We just run a little deep. But nope, he doesn't get the exit he would need for that. We did mess up one of our gears though, so he might come back at us. I gotta say, I do love vintage racing. It's truly something I really adore. I love vintage anything. If you know me in real life, you know that I love vintage fashion. I love old cars, and I love old racing. There's something very special about it indeed. They have a certain liveliness to them. Ooh, a liveliness that I am struggling to control, it seems, as we go off once again. That's going to put us down into P15, potentially P16. These things go off real easy. My goal is just to catch up and get past Lucas, maybe. The AI are pretty slow, all things considered. They're just a little more consistent than I am. Oh, those bumps on the outside are just the worst. You get over them and you can't turn in properly. It's not looking great for our prospects with Lucas here. Ah, but he does go off slightly. He's going to get a poor run that we might be able to capitalize on. Hello, my old friend. It's nice to see you once more. Let's see if there's any Hail Mary to be made into this portion. Well, we're down the inside, but do we make it? Do we get the run? It's going to be to the line. And we do clear Lucas. And there it is. P14 for your consideration. Hello, lads. It's time for one last circuit. As the UK's prime historic racing venue, it would be simply a crime to not go to Goodwood. And so here we are, lined up 3 abreast on the grid, which is going to cause the worst traffic jam of your life. Goodwood is filed under the circuits that I have been to in real life. I went to Revival and it was wonderful. But I have never driven it, apart from on the sim like right now. Lots and lots of fast corners on this track. And an absolute mess of a wreck up ahead as well. That's going to grant us many positions, which I think I'm going to take really pretty shamelessly because, well, I'd like to have some kind of high finishing position, wouldn't I? Currently P11. Let's see where we stand after this. Ooh, okay, that was an accidental move on Maxime Castado, but I will take it for sure. Down into second gear for this corner. Taking his sweet time through there, kind of parking it on the apex, unfortunately. Seems to be some sort of mess up ahead. I mean, make it past Eric Falco as well, making up plenty of positions up into P10. Love to see it. Emmanuel is next in my sights as we come to something like near the end of the lap. I don't know where to brake here. You just gotta pick a point and pray, it seems. It's into third gear with us, and oof. Through the chicane now. That was a wild ride through the grass. And then it's back onto the front straight. We are somehow P4, I just realized. I don't know how it happened. But that's neat, I guess. Finally, a decent position to be in. I'm not sure we're gonna win, but let's see if I can get a podium or something. Now, let's see if I can get this corner looking a little better. Well, rather the slide through there, but I would say that does bode better for us. And it's through the chicane. Oh my god, huge wreck in front of us as they go too wide into the chicane. Sorry, behind me. Jesus. Right into the wall with both of them. Poor guys. I'm still not sure about catching up to Emmanuel here and getting that podium position. If they battle ahead of us, maybe I can pull something out of my ass, but they're 4.4 seconds down the road with only a single lap left. Our prospects are grim for the podium. They might be battling, I can't quite tell. God, if only they would collide. But no, they're well in their order. It seems then that we're going to end this final race in P4. Ooh, rather the adventure we're having, aren't we? Jesus Christ. Alright. Maybe not P4. Maybe a little bit less than that. Nicholas picks up that position, but loses it almost immediately. Then I also lose another position, and another. Such seems to be the way. We sent it a little too hard into that chicane. But hey, I suppose you can't be too mad at P7. And we were P4 for most of that, so can you complain? I certainly can't. Highly advise you go give these a download. I'll link them in the description. Corky, out.